Hello, everybody. Welcome to Metaphysical Happy Hour. We're super excited this week. We've got an awesome guest with us. My name is Cassie Clayton. I'm with StarGazers Unite. Tracy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Tracy Escobar, the Red Couch Medium. And today we have, Cassie.
Today we've got Steve Spur with us here.
Also known as
Cowboy
Cowboy Psychic.
There you go.
Love it. Welcome to Metaphysical Happy Hour. We're so excited to have you. So excited.
Thank you.
I love all things mediumship, so everybody kind of knows that about me. So anytime we can get another medium on, it's like, ooh, it's fun times for me. So before we start, I just want to tell everybody on our TikTok page, YouTube page, Facebook pages, please, you have a really great, well-known medium here in the Dallas area. Ask questions, send us questions. Let us help answer some things for you. But in the meantime, we're going to talk. We're going to get to know Steve. But please send us questions. So are you ready to get started? Yay!
Woohoo.
So I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to tell you a little story before we start on how influential you were to me. So about I don't even know, maybe 7 years ago, I can't even really remember, back when I was interested in the afterlife because my dad had passed away, but I thought all mediums were the celebrity mediums on TV, right? So I thought, well, if you're a medium, you're a celebrity, you're on TV. I didn't, no idea that people so close to me in the Dallas area were even a medium. I had no idea there was metaphysical stores. I had zero idea any of that ever existed. And then one day, an ad popped up for a Halloween event that I went to. So that was my first experience. I saw you before I knew anything. I saw you live at a Halloween event with Jennifer Farmer. I think Chuck Murphy was running it. And I just think it's so cool because fast forward, now we're colleagues. That's just the weirdest thing to me. Like
Yeah.
It just came, like we worked together on another event one time. It's like, let's just all come together. And I just think that's the coolest thing. And then also, I think before we even went live, we started talking about Midland and where I'm from. My dad died in Midland. So I think that's really an interesting.
That's another connection right there.
It is. When he.
And I prayed for you too. I brought through your father.
Yeah, you did. You did at another.
He's strong spirit. Okay.
Yes, he is. He's been with me this whole journey. And I think it's so crazy. He bought a pecan farm after he retired. Go ahead.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So when you feel the need, he's going to tell you to pull over to the 7-Eleven and buy the lotto ticket. Okay. So you just listen for him.
I need to listen for the lotto tickets. It's funny you say that too.
That's like when I see like crows are really a good sign for me. If I see a crow during the day, I know, oh man, my readings are going to be great. If I see 2 crows, I go, whoa, this is going to be a John Edward day. Okay. They're just going to knock them out of the park. If I see 3 crows, I drive to the 7-Eleven and I go buy some lotto tickets. Okay.
Do you?
Because I know it's going to be a lucky day.
Awesome. That's.
I'm excited by that because I'm totally like, I will win one day.
There should be. And you know, in the beginning when I just started out, I'd ask my guides. You know, I'm in meditation. I'm going like, oh come on, give me 4 out of 6. I can make a truck payment. Nobody's going to know a medium one. You know, had a good ticket with the deal. And they always go. It's meant to be. You got to do what everyone else does and buy the quick pick. And if it was meant to be, well, my fear is going to be that I'll win it at 98 years old. You know, not going to be able to do anything with it. So,
right.
You know, I'm young enough right now. I can still invest it, okay, and have some fun with it. So
that's probably the #1 question we all get asked. Can you give us a lottery ticket numbers? Right?
Give us the numbers. One time I was in a class with John Capella, another well-known medium in Dallas-Fort Worth, right. And he had everybody write down numbers, and he went out and bought lotto tickets for the whole group. and we were going to split it as a whole group if we won. So
That's hilarious.
That hadn't happened yet, and I don't know if a medium or a psychic that has won the lotto. So
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I did a TikTok the other day about that. I was like, yeah, I get asked it, but there's no way I can give it to you. I try. If I could, I'd do it for myself.
We got our health, right?
Right. That's what we get. So we have a lot of followers some are baby mediums, some wish they could be mediums. I love your story. And just so everybody knows, he has a book out called Unforeseen, The Near-Death Awakening of a Skeptical Cowboy Psychic, or a Cowboy Medium, I think is what it says. Like, tell us your story. How did you get started? What were your beliefs before all that happened?
I was an atheist. And I thought anything to do with the psychic or mediumship or cards or the board or whatever, all of it was bullshit. Okay. So there's just no way. And I was helping my parents move from Fort Worth down to Corpus Christi. And it was in the middle of the summer. It was 110 degrees outside. I was up in the attic sweating like a pig, had a heat stroke, fell out of the attic on my head onto the concrete and had a severe concussion. And it was spent 3 days in the hospital, lost all memory when I was in the hospital, finally regained a little bit of short-term memory. I worked at the racetrack for 15 years. So I was on a break from the racetrack and I just kept on asking, okay, when am I, have the horses started running? Am I late for work? That kind of stuff. 3 days later, they say, you're good. Your long-term memory is going to come back and everything. It's about 3 or 4 weeks after that I started hearing music in the next room. I'm going like, who in the hell is playing the music? So I go there. I'm searching the house for this music. I can't find it. And then a couple of days later, I'm hearing voices. Okay. And this went on. And it wasn't till one time I was awakened from a dream, and there was a little Chinese man in a little hood that looked like Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of my bed and telling me I failed the test. What do? I grabbed my 357 off the mantle, and I'm searching the house for this guy. Okay.
Oh
so this happened. So I would have these events going on for 7 years. Okay. Because I knew people that if you told people that you heard voices or you saw spirit, like I was seeing what we call my 10-year-old calls ghost, they're going to put you away. Okay. They're going to make you go to a psychiatrist. They're going to put you in a padded room. I had known people that heard voices and were locked up. Okay. So you don't, I tell everyone, don't tell anybody you're sharing voices. Okay. Go to a medium. Tell them. Okay. They will lock you up faster. Jackrabbit crossing I-35. I mean, I thought I was a schizophrenic. Okay.
Okay. I was going to ask, did you think you were crazy?
A functioning schizophrenic that hears voices and sees spirits sometimes and everything. So, nothing happened. I don't believe there's any accidents. I don't believe there's any coincidences. There's not chance. I don't believe in predestination, but I do believe certain things are set. You contracted for certain things to happen in your life. Okay. Yeah. And one of those things was for me to become a medium. So it was at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been dating PJ for a year, my wife. Yep. And I come across this guy on TV called John Edward, and he says he's a medium. He talks like Tony Robbins. He's very hypnotizing. There's these people crying. He's telling stuff about, their loved ones that are crossed over. And the people in the audience are crying. And I'm just trying to figure out, this is very interesting. I mean, he's talking about seeing this stuff and he's talking like it's natural, like it's a normal thing, So I go buy his book and I start taping his show and I go over to PJ's house. I said, I want you to see this guy. And I said, I don't believe that this is possible, but I just want you to check him out and tell me, because you wouldn't tell some of this stuff, if there was microphones underneath the seats or in the line when they were buying tickets or in the bathroom. you wouldn't talk about your grandma's little dog in the name of the little dog or something. You know, I mean, you're only the medium's going to come up with that. So I'm asking her, do you believe this guy's for real? She goes, why are you telling me this? Why are you asking me this? Yeah, I think he's for real. I said, because I can do the same things he can do. I hear dead people talking, and I see spirit and everything. And I think this is what happening to me. I think they made me a medium. Okay. And I don't want to be a medium. I don't want to hear the voices. I don't want to hear the voices. I don't give a damn what they think. Okay. And like they'd come to me in dreams, dead people would come to me in dreams, and they would tell me, this is the day I died. I died of a heart attack. This is my wife's name. These are my 2 children's name. And I died in Amarillo, Texas. So I'd wake up in the morning. I'd go to the computer. I'd put their name in, obit. All the stuff was true. I couldn't remember the name of his kids. I couldn't remember his wife's name. The date, he told me that. I'm going like, why in the hell are you telling me this? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So this went on for a while. I ended up going to a medium. The first medium I went to in the Dallas-Fort Worth area was Kathleen Tucci. And, as soon as I walk in the door, she goes, how'd you hear about me? I said, my guides told me to come. Okay. Didn't tell her I don't believe in this shit, or I'm trying to. So basically, I wanted to learn how to turn it off. Okay. Oh. So I started studying with a couple of mediums just to learn how to turn it off. Because I didn't want to. For me, it was mediumship, talking to dead people. It's a parlor trick. Who cares? Who wants to talk to dead people? Okay. and after a while, when I was meditating, I finally, they said, you got to get this turned off. First off, you got to find out who your guides are, and you got to talk to your guides to turn this off. Okay. Yeah. So my guides are telling me, they're going like, Steve, if you're driving down a country road and you saw some young lady with 2 kids and she's stuck in the mud on the side of the road, are you going to keep on driving, or are you going to pull over and help her? I said, well, shit, I'm going to pull over and help her. Why wouldn't I? That's the thing to do, pull over and help her. And they go, why? Why are you going to help her? I said, I'm going to help her get her back on her path and down the road where she's supposed to go. They said, exactly. And that's what you're doing with mediumship. That's why mediumship is so important, because some people are stuck on the side of the road and they just need you to help them pull them out of the ditch so they can go back on their path and learn their life lessons. I was going like, well, shit, I can do that.
I can do that.
And that I decided, okay, so maybe this gift isn't so bad, and the more I started helping people, and I was explaining to Cassie earlier, I'm trying to pay my karma so far forward. Okay. Cause I didn't start professionally reading people till about 14 years ago. Okay. So I'm trying to make up for my past, and I'm trying to pay it forward so much that in the next 3 or 4 lives, I'm going to kind of be able to cruise. Okay. So they go, oh yeah, let's look at his Akashic record. Steve Spur. Oh, he was a medium, and he helped all these hundreds and thousands of people who they say that we're going to meet when we die on the other side. All the spirits that we've brought through, and then later on the people that we read for, and hopefully there's going to be a big old long line. But that's the way I started and started enjoying the journey then. Okay.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Do you think, I always talk, I think so much of it's the mind. Do you think it was the concussion? Do you think that's what opened it up?
Well, I think everybody's born psychic. Okay. And I think just like everyone has the ability to be an artist or an athlete. Right. Some are naturals. Right. And then some of it have it knocked into their head like I did as a medium. Okay.
Yeah.
So knowing what I do now, it's funny because when I was a little kid, when I was 8 years old, I knew how to witch water wells and use dowsing. We'd get a willow tree. My grandfather taught me that because his father, back in the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma and New Mexico. That's how he made his living, was finding water wells and oil wells for people back in the 1920s.
Wow.
Cool.
That is so cool. That's interesting.
That lived in Arkansas. Both of them had 10. My granddad had 10 brothers and sisters. My grandmother had 11. Okay. Dirt poor. Grandmother's dad and brother, what we call is witched wells for a living. Found water wells for farms and places in Arkansas. So I'm going like, well, that's psychic right there. And I thought every kid in America knew how to go get a peach tree fork in the deal and go find the water sprinkler that was broken, or go find whatever you dropped in the backyard with the tree limb, And I thought, well, shit, everybody knows how to do that. Little did I know. Okay. So I think a lot of it is in your blood. I think you get most of your psychic ability from your mom's side of the family. Okay.
Okay.
And if you're, the closer you are to being Irish or African American or Latina, I think that you're closer to the source. Okay.
Interesting.
And then others, it's just, I think it comes through the female line like that.
I can probably agree with you with that.
So even if your mom's not psychic, your grandma was really psychic. Okay. Yeah. So, and her grandma was. So, when the rains came and the storms, she knew if it was going to be bad or not. She knew that when people came over, if they were good or not. Okay. Yeah. Everyone has that ability. As soon as you walk up to somebody and you get within, 4 foot of them, you can feel their aura, right then. Okay. And I tell all the ladies that call me, how am I going to find my soulmate? So number one, you're going to know on your first date is this
you
guy.
You will. Yeah.
Guarantee it. First date. And that first impression is so important. Not because of what he looks like or whatever, because of what you feel around him.
Energy, the connection.
And if you see any of his aura, and then as soon as he starts talking, you're going to feel the energy too. And you're going to know right away. Okay. And then in step 2, I said, you got to get out of the apartment, man. Okay. You got to go and go find the guy go find the guy that does what you like to do. If you like to go dancing, go to some dancing places. If you like live music, if you like book club, if you like, little dachshund club, go find something on Meetup and go join it. And you're going to be that much closer to your soulmate.
Oh, I agree with 100%. I have, I don't know.
And I also think you have more than one soulmate. You have more than one soulmate. Okay. So those that got divorced or those that had breakups, doesn't mean that person that you were with wasn't a soulmate. You just finished your karma with that person and evened it up or whatever. Maybe you killed them in the last life. So this time you just, he broke your heart. It's a good trade-off. Okay.
That karmic stuff, right?
That karmic stuff, man.
That karmic stuff
every time.
Get ya. It'll get ya. I think a lot about destiny and my journey too. And like for me and you both, it came later on in life, but now that it's here, it's just like, it's comfortable. It's like what we were meant to be doing all along. It's just the weirdest feeling. And everything just kind of falls into place now. It's just like, I can remember my whole life just searching for what I was supposed to be doing and just searching, and nothing was ever panning out. I'm just searching until all this happened. And then it just falls into line. So I think it's just beautiful when you're walking your path, when you're walking your purpose, it's easy.
When you talked about your father dying, that happens to a lot of people. Someone close to them crossed over, and then it's that connection that helps you get closer to the veil. Okay. Yes. That's how John Capella, after John Capella's dad crossed over, he started receiving messages and things. Yes. Marvina Meek, she had an accident, a riding accident. And that's how she came closer to the veil. Okay. So it's really interesting. The people that say that they're, and I do believe you're born with it, but it's like, I want the guys that had to learn like me under 20 different mediums that, and then I took a piece of each of them as like it was a cookbook. So if you stir up John Edward and Gordon Smith and Alison Dubois and all the people, I'm going to still turn out different from them. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't care what people think about me. I tell it like it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't matter. You know, I mean, be yourself and why lie about it? You know, and I have people come through and I'm going like, man, get off the drugs. You're living a shit life. They're showing me what's going on. You know, this is your wake up call, brother. And they go like, how do you know that? You know, and I'm going like, sorry about your luck, you know, but you're not on your path, you know?
Yeah. Do you have one, you know, just thinking about, you know, my own journey, do you have one more influential teacher, or did you just, when the student's ready, the teacher appeared? Is that kind of what happened?
My two favorites are John Edward.
Okay.
Because he's no nonsense.
He's no nonsense, yeah.
Anyone can go on YouTube and look at the earlier John Edwards before he's as polished as he is now. And he's just telling you like, okay, I have an Aunt Betty coming through, and they go, I don't have an aunt. He goes, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I know you do. You know,
he's so confident.
Anytime he had them call on the phone, call their mom up in the audience and say, do we have an Aunt Betty? And they're going, I'm so sorry, John. You know. And then my second favorite medium is Gordon Smith, and he's the Scottish medium, and I got to study with him. I studied with John Holland. John Holland's another good one up in Massachusetts. Yeah. I'm working with John with Paul Jacobs now.
Are you?
Yeah. Paul. You never learn it all. Okay. No. Like they asked Gordon Higginson, the guy that founded Arthur Findlay College. Mm-hmm. When are you going to be the best medium that you are? The day before I die. I am still learning stuff from spirit and still making connections. And that's when you're going to be at the best, the day before you die, you know? Yeah. So I study with everybody that I think I can learn something from. And then if it helps me teach somebody else, then it was worth it. You know, something that maybe I'll learn from Gordon or from John or something, but I won't use myself. But if I have a class or whatever, or tell another beginning medium, try this to strengthen your connections. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you know.
What advice, speaking of baby mediums, I call them baby mediums, like there's one piece of advice you give anybody who's just starting their journey?
Meditate the hell out of it. Okay.
Me too. That's what I tell everybody.
And I'm the worst about meditating. Okay.
Me too.
But I meditate for 30 minutes before I start the day of my readings. Okay. So
you do.
So that counts. But if you can just go sit in a chair, the same time every day for 5 or 10 minutes, and number one, I was trying to remember. There was a medium in Dallas, Shannon Maxey. Do you recall who Shannon Maxey is? Okay.
I do not.
This is 15 years ago. So I couldn't meditate. And she's saying, well, I have so much garbage going in my head, and that's why I can't meditate or whatever like that. She said, Steve, you need to be listening to some music. Listen to the same music. And then she told me, hit the repeat button. So the left side of my brain is listening to the lyrics, and then the right side of my brain, or vice versa,
that's right,
is talking to spirit. Okay. And so I will put the headphones on and hit one of my songs. It may be a classic rock, it may be a country, it may be something else. And I'll when I start out, I'll just listen to it over and over. It may be The Dance with Garth Brooks, okay, and I already know the lyrics by heart, so I forgot the lyrics, and I'm just hearing the music, and then all of a sudden I can start hearing voices, and it'll be your guide, it'll be your loved ones, like that, and then that's the easiest way to make that connection is by trying. And then when something comes into your mind, oh, I forgot to pay the electric bill. You just spin it out of your head, let it go. But you don't try to block all the stuff. You just let it come in, but let it fly back out.
Yeah. I think one of the most aha moments, go ahead.
Yeah, 5 or 10 minutes start.
That's it.
And then you're able to build up to 20, 30 minutes real easy. Okay.
That's what I tell my students too. I think the most aha moment I ever had was with Lisa Williams, and I did some training with her, and she explained how the brain works and how your left brain will fight with your right brain all day long in mediumship. So you've got to learn to control the brain. And that was the biggest aha moment ever for me personally, just understanding that concept. So I tell my students, start with a guided meditation, get your brain out of the way. So the same things that we talk about.
I've seen Lisa a couple of times.
Have you?
Doing readings. Yeah, she's nice. She's good.
She's incredible.
And she's a European. She's an Arthur Findlay gal.
Yeah. It's incredible. So something came up with me.
Go ahead.
I was going to say something came up with me this week, and I wanted to ask you, but go ahead and finish your thought.
Well, if you read everything that's on the internet right now, you would think that you have to go to Arthur Findlay to become a medium. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's so many great American mediums now. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can read their books and stuff like that, but there's not just an American way or an English way or Wolf Messing, the Russian medium. Use what you can get. Your guides are going to literally put the books and the videos and the people in front of your path that you're supposed to follow. There's nothing by accident.
No, yeah. Like I said, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. It happens, right?
Sure.
It all falls into place. Yeah. So I want to talk just a little bit. Yeah, something happened to me this week, and it's like a question that someone posed to me, and it made me think. And so I just want to ask like another medium. Do you think our deaths are predetermined?
I believe that we're born not 1 second before our time, and that we don't die 1 second before our time. And both of those are contracted. Okay. So when you're up here, before you come down, you're with a council of elders, with your guides, and you got this. With me, it was in a honky tonk in a bar in heaven, and we were all drunk and said, "Hey, let's do this." Okay. You're going to be born in Lubbock and then move to Midland, and you're going to have an accident and you're become a medium. I said, yeah, but I want to be a boxer and I want to be a swimmer and I want to, train Kentucky Derby horses. They're going like, okay, we'll put in side notes, but you're not going to be great at any of those things. You're going to be above average. I was above average boxer, wanted to turn pro. I was a good swimmer, great on relays, not the individual, went to state. Ran 2 horses in the Kentucky Derby. They both ran 10th. But this is what I was meant to do. And then if I'm supposed to die, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, knock on wood, it was meant to be. Okay? And I believe 9/11, the Holocaust, everybody signs up. Everybody knows when they're on the other side. They knew the pandemic was going to come this last 2 years. We signed up for this shit. Okay? When children die, when people get murdered, when people have accidents, it all happens because your soul group hadn't experienced that event. Okay. And you need to understand that type of mourning and that type of depression or that type of whatever you're going through. And more than likely, it's a life lesson. And there's going to be other people that go through the same thing, and you're going to be able to help them get through it. Okay. And it almost always happens like that. I said, I'm telling you, you've lost a child. In 2 years, there's going to be you're going to run into another lady that just can't go on with life because she's gone through the same thing you have. And you're going to explain to her how it works and how you made it. And there is life after death. And all these things. And that's why those harsh life lessons, I call them, only the old souls are going to get this stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Only
for
the
sure.
old souls are going to go through the toughest shit. All right. So
Yeah.
if you're a baby soul, don't worry about your life.
Don't worry, you're
right?
getting easy.
Everyone's gonna be fine. All right. If you're an old soul, this is probably already happened to you. Okay.
Yeah. So
Do
crazy.
you agree?
I agree. I think I had a reading with a lady who lost her sister-in-law from an elective surgery. So it became a topic. If it was elective, could it have been stopped? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But her soul knew, and her soul went through with it. So that
I believe suicides are the same way.
Okay, me too. Me too.
Okay.
Me too.
It's planned. It's a planned deal. They're going like, Steve, you only have to come here for so long, and then we got a parachute cord for you. Okay, and you're gonna split, and then next, okay. So I don't think I just don't believe in coincidences, and there's a reason for it. And number one, I tell anybody that's lost somebody to suicide, there's nothing you could have done. There's no, and you couldn't have talked them out of it. Even if it was for a day, the next day was the day. Okay. And it's a real sad that people have to go through the mental anguish and be in such a dark time to do something like that. But I do believe there's a reason for everything. Okay. And, I did a reading recently for a young girl who's like 20 years old, and she lost her boyfriend who was 21, and I forget, it was a suicide, I believe. Yeah. And so I was talking to him, and he showed me what his paradise looked like. He was a fisherman. He loved fishing. He had a lake on the other side. There wasn't a ripple on it. It was catch and release. He just fishing like crazy. Had a little cabin on the side, had a beach, had pine tree. I go, oh man, this is paradise. I love your heaven. And he goes, paradise is freaking boring. Okay. And I said, like, yeah, but there's no time in heaven. You're going to wait for your girlfriend there, right? And you're going like, are you kidding? She doesn't die till she's 80 years old. I can get 2 more lives in and still hook up with her back in my soul group. And that just kind of blew my mind that he was thinking. Obviously, he was an old soul. Right. Okay. And to him, this life was just a football game. I made it 4 quarters. It was time to go on. I can get 2 more games in before I get back with my group, with my posse. And we go, and then we come back and live again. So the biggest problem I had as being a medium was believing in reincarnation.
Really?
That kicked my butt. Okay.
Did it?
Oh my God. It was reading Edgar Casey's book that finally I'm going like, okay, so if you read the Bible and back in 325 AD, they took out all the references or what they thought were the references of reincarnation out of the Bible. But a lot of the Christians or neo-Christians or whatever back then, they believed in reincarnation. Okay. And for me, it was like, I don't want to come back and suffer like this. Are you kidding me? This is a rough life. But if you weigh everything good and bad that's happened in your life, I would think that most people are going to say they've lived a good life. Okay. I think, it may be a
60-40.
A 7 and 5 season, like the Cowboys. It's going to be a 10 and 9 season. You just won 1 more game than you lost. It was still pretty good season. Still, it was a pretty good life. Okay,
right,
and knowing what I do now is like I'm not even concerned about this life. I'm already going like, I just don't want to make any wrong moves so it doesn't screw up anything in my next lives. Okay. And we may have already signed, we may have already contracted for our next 2 lives. Okay. We don't have anything to do. What are you talking about? And then really the mind blower is what if you're living 2 lives or 3 lives
Same time.
at the same time? I believe we all are in heaven right now. Okay.
Really? Okay.
That Steve Spur has brought down 25% of his energy in this life.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is there a Buddhist monk in Thailand in a temple that has 20% of Steve Spur's energy also? I was in a life between lives regression, and I say I am.
Really?
And I got on the computer and looked at the city that came through when I was hypnotized, and found the temple and the city and the temple in Thailand. I'm going like, I got to freaking go see who the hell I am, but I don't think they would ever let that happen. But okay, just saying, you
can't fathom the possibilities.
But I just tell people, if you just worry about the 6 square feet around you and do the right thing, be nice there's no way I'm going to learn unconditional love in this lifetime. There's no way I'm going to learn forgiveness in this lifetime. I can't be that lady that had the son murdered and can forgive that murderer. Okay. I just don't think it's in me. All right.
Wow.
So yeah, it's okay. It's going to take me 4 or 5 more lives to learn that unconditional love. That's a biggie.
It is a big one. Yeah, it is.
Unconditional love, forgiveness, to be at peace with yourself. There's a lot of stuff to learn. Okay. And I'm telling you, we're not talking hundreds of lifetimes. We're talking maybe thousands. Okay. So I've been every color of the rainbow. I've killed you. You've killed me. I've been raped. I've stolen. I know that I've been a horse thief in 2 lives, and I can't stand a tie around my neck to this day. Okay.
Interesting.
Oh my God. It just freaks me out because I've been hung twice. Okay. I was a good thief. I stole a lot of good horses. Okay. But I got hung for it. So,
Lord.
Don't be coming with me with a rope. It'll freak me out. All right.
That's funny. Oh, what a pleasure. Love your stories. You're such a storyteller. Yeah. We got any questions out there, Cassie?
We do. We actually have one with Monica Lynn. She's asking, what about this being our meat suits? So how many meat suits do we inhabit at one time?
So that's what I think. I think you can be 2 or 3. I think, okay, every night you go to bed, you hook up with your higher self. That's that silver cord that you've heard about that goes from you, your soul, to yourself. Your higher self is in heaven right now. So I go to sleep at night. I'm going to have some great dreams, maybe have some lucid dreams where I can learn some things, and stuff. But I'm connecting with my guides, my higher guides, and myself, and going, hey, guys, how did I do today? Is everything all right? And they're just, they're crossing their arms and shake. You could have done that a little bit better. They're kind of being the Jimmy Johnson, the coach. Come on, Steve, you can do better than this. Let's get out there, kick some ass and take names and do, and that's the way it is. Every night you're hooking up and you're talking to your higher self and your spirit guides.
Wow. We also have another question. Do we think we are reincarnated with the same people?
I believe everybody has a soul group of between 25 and 30 people. I think you reincarnate, life after life with this soul group, but just know that the whole soul group doesn't make the train sometimes. Okay. And as old as I'm 60, I don't think I've met everybody in my soul group yet. Okay. So like my granddaughters and my stepdaughters and stuff like that. Also, like, I don't believe my parents are in my soul group. Okay.
You don't?
Nope. I think there's like 3 to 4 other soul groups that fill in the places for us. And like one of my kids might be from another soul group, or my parents were from another soul group, that we work with time. So there's about, that makes it about, 120 people that you could possibly reincarnate with at any given time. Your favorite high school teacher that got you through school is one of your soulmates. Okay. The person that treated you like shit or beat the hell out of you, or you hope that they would go to hell, might be what I call the Judas complex. He's actually your closest soulmate. Okay. That I don't believe Jesus was betrayed. I believe Judas did everything that Jesus told him to. And, and just Judas thought, when Jesus is on the cross, he's going to pull out the nails from his hands, step down, and he's going to rule the world, because that's what he thought. If I had someone to tell me I could run through a wall and I believed them enough, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try,
Yeah.
So just know, the worst person in your life, your next life, might be your lover, or might be your closest soulmate. Okay.
I love it. We have so many questions. What you got? Anything else? Yeah, there's so many. Good job. Go ahead.
No, we do have questions, but we are at that time in the show that we tend to switch over. So do we want to keep going with questions, or do we want to go with readings?
Go with some readings. That's fine. Okay.
I have one really quick. Sassy Britches on TikTok needs a love reading. So it's interesting your take on love reading. So I'm going to let you run with this one, Steve. Love reading for Sassy Britches. She's been patiently waiting this whole time.
Do we?
There you go.
We don't know where she's from. They're showing me peach trees, wherever she's from. So I don't know if that's a Georgia reference, or somebody in Texas has peach trees or something like that. She's running parallel with the crowd that her soulmate's going to be in. Okay. So they're like going to the same concerts. They're going to the same movies. They're going to the same restaurants. She's probably seen her soulmate already. Okay. But he was just running with another crowd. Okay. So be more open-minded. Meet as many people as you can. I tell the women that I know, don't be shy at all. I was the shyest guy in the world, believe it or not. That's why it's cool to be a cowboy, because you can just be tough and shut up. Okay.
Yeah.
But
she's from Alabama.
Walk up. There you go. Okay. Walk up and get and ask a guy what his name is. Okay. Start up the conversation. It's not going to make you seem like you're easy or whatever. Okay. Just say, because you want to go, I'd rather you go out and do the picking instead of your soulmate doing the picking. Okay. So if there's a guy that you think looks sharp and you're in your lane, go up and ask him, hey, what's up? Are you seeing somebody? What's going on? You want to have coffee? Something safe.
There you go. I got go with the flow.
He's in
like Steve said.
He's in that city. He's in that city.
Yeah.
I got divine intervention.
So go with the flow. Divine intervention.
There you go.
We're all good.
Good.
Yeah. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen.
For sure.
Right.
And she likes women, so it's a woman. There you go.
Okay. So walk up to a woman. Are you good? Are you good?
Walk up to a woman.
Hey, and then make that connection. That's cool.
There you go. Good job, guys.
Don't be shy. Don't be a shy lesbian, for God's sake.
Don't be shy. She's there. Oh, your turn, Cassie.
All right.
Well, hey, meet my friend Cassie. I'm gonna say. Maybe she's in Texas.
Maybe. I'll tell you a funny story later, Tracy. Okay, so we're going to go with Whitney Harden. And she's just asking whatever spirit leads us to. Please and thank you for her reading.
What's her name? Whitney?
Whitney.
Okay. Life's kind of like a roller coaster. Okay. She picked a small roller coaster. I don't know if you've ever been to Six Flags. The Runaway Mine Train is like an easy deal. She's on a hump right now. Okay, she's in a small hump. She's having to make a small hill. Okay, it's going to get better after this. Give it at least 3 weeks, and she's going to have a completely different perspective. Okay, but her whole life is going to be an easy roller coaster instead of the big double loop, Judge Roy scream, all that kind of stuff.
I got money, so money's on your mind. I would use this time to find your way to abundance and start manifesting. So a lot of things around money going on around you. So use your creativity and
for sure.
That's what you want, for sure, right? You guys have no idea how powerful you all are as human beings. So yes. Definitely.
And I got the card Angelite, which it's join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And I know Whitney, she's a client of mine, so that was all good. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Do you have anybody over on TikTok asking for somebody?
Yes, Lee Mack. She Sassy Britches says thank you. Lee Mack 77, just a general reading. It's really hard on TikTok because I don't know y'all's names, but we're gonna try.
We'll do it.
So that's Lee.
Lee and then Mac.
Lee has too many irons in the fire.
Too many irons in the fire, Lee.
Yeah. So zoom in and focus on the best 2 or 3 things that you want in your life right now. Okay. And just you're being distracted by too many other things, too many other people, too many other jobs. Focus on what you want and kind of zoom in on it.
Good job. I got all about creativity and inviting the magic in. So understanding your own power, understanding going within, focus, ground, get uber focused on the things that you want. I feel like, I don't know, I'm a little sporadic. So I think it's time to bring it all in and go for what you want. What you got, Cass?
I got the card for Tanzanite, and what this card is about is it's letting you know you've healed from the past enough to open your heart to the new.
There you go. Yay.
So, yeah, definitely.
Hello. Oh, Jennifer Greer wants to know what Steve has for her. Jennifer Greer. And I know Jennifer, so I'm going to let Steve take this one. What you got for Jennifer?
So Jennifer ought to be having a good ride right now, okay? Things ought to be kind of going her way and everything. So just don't doubt herself. Don't doubt what's coming into her, and don't think that she's not for some of the things that she's hoping for, because they're just, if she's not experiencing it now, she's going to experience it very soon.
Really good. Good job. I got the resilience card. Like, you've been through some stuff, but you're rising above it all and you're finally coming out on the other end. So you're ending some really rough chapters and it's about to be smooth sailing going forward. So keep resilient. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. And I got Unakite, which is answered prayers. So all your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Nice.
All right, we've got some people asking over here. Let's see. Why don't we go with Melissa Jeffries?
She asked, whatever the spirit leads you to read for me. Melissa Dawn Jeffries.
Yes.
So, when I do readings, when I do mediumship, I ask people to tell me their birth certificate name, because that's how I was taught to key into their energy. Okay. So like some of the Arthur Finlay mediums will let the spirit walk up behind them literally and get into their space, and then they start delivering a message for it. I hear their name, and then so I go up, raise my energy up. I draw a circle in the air, and anyone that can connect to that frequency of her voice that I heard is allowed to step into the circle. Okay. And Melissa has a bunch of people on the other side. Okay. Just know they're looking out for her. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if she's getting messages herself. She's having dreams. She's having lucid dreams. She's having just urges. Why should I turn right here at this light? Why should I go into this place? Why should I do a certain thing? It's just your guides and your angels and your loved ones on the other side that are kind of helping you stay on your path. Okay. So don't freak out about anything, any coincidences and things that happen. I think it all happens for a reason. And so it's going to be okay. Okay. So listen to your intuition. I always tell people, listen to their intuition from your gut. And, watching American Idol and The Voice and all those celebrities, they go, I'm just going to pick this person because that's what my gut's telling me to. Well, they're basically listening to their intuition. Okay. And as long as Melissa stays with her inner intuition, she's doing great. Okay. And I think she's already getting some signs or some things happening at the house. Okay.
So we're so in alignment. So the card that I pulled for her was the alignment card. She's time to pursue your own spiritual growth. So we are like in alignment today, and I think it's so magical.
There's no coincidences. Yeah. No coincidences.
For sure. And the card that I pulled is also in alignment, and it's the card for Aquamarine, and it's divine life purpose, trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
I used to teach tarot about 10 years ago. And my deck is the Buckland Romani deck.
Ooh.
It's a gypsy deck. So
it's a gypsy deck, yeah.
The only reason I learned how to do tarot was because John Edward learned how to do tarot first. Okay. Yeah. And then while he was doing tarot, he started hearing voices and he started seeing spirit, and he would pass that along. Okay. I would love everybody to know how to buy a tarot deck and learn, just by reading the little book with the deck. What do you have?
I have my tarot deck too. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm trying to learn the tarot. Just barely recently is it coming up in my readings. I'm like, I'm going to go to the tarot deck. So I'm starting to learn it myself, y'all.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Ash, what's your deck?
I don't know.
Tell them how you got into tarot.
Yeah, I don't know the name of my deck. I gotta pull the box. I pull them out of the box and keep them all over my desk.
Fair enough.
But I've been watching the show Carnival on HBO, and they use the same deck. So it's really interesting. Coincidence.
And I love Carnival. Carnival.
Is that what it's Carnival?
I bought it on the disc. Yeah, watch it on HBO. Tell people to watch it on HBO. And someone wrote an article that every episode is like a different tarot card in the deck. So all the characters are different tarot meanings in the tarot deck.
I'm gonna have to find that article.
The very first card, the searcher and stuff like that. And if you'll go back to watch Carnival, you'll go, oh, there he is. And one of my favorite character was the blind guy.
Yes.
The French blind guy. Okay.
Yes.
And he was a medium. And he was a medium too.
Yes. Like I'm on barely episode 4. Someone just turned me on to it, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. I would love to be the gypsy living in the trailer doing psychic readings.
Past life. Past life.
That's life.
I'm Scotch Irish,
There you go. We're all in the Carnival.
Right. So, okay. We've got, let's see.
I have someone who wants a loved one past reading.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Her name is Michelle Moreno. Would love to hear from my loved ones who've passed. Michelle Moreno is her birth certificate name.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if this is a mother figure or a grandmother figure that's for her. She's kind of a kitchen mom. She can make anything from scratch in the kitchen. She's a little bit heavier set. She's holding her hand. She says prayers for you every day. Okay, so you're doing right. You're doing right by her. So this may be a grandmother. So, but just know how much you are loved. Okay, and whenever you find hard times or whatever, think about this lady's love. Okay, and her love for you, and it'll make your day go a whole lot better. Okay, they're trying to. I believe you're going to do the things you're supposed to do with your guides. But I know that your loved ones can also whisper stuff in your ear, and it's kind of like a little cheat sheet. Okay, it's what I needed to get through algebra and calculus in high school. My little cheat sheets. All right, they can whisper stuff and help you out all the time. And it may be your guides are telling them to do that, so you're hearing it in your mom's or your grandma's voice. But she's extremely proud of you. Okay, so whatever you've gone through in flying colors.
It was her mama, and her mom passed away 13 weeks ago.
Okay.
So,
she's watching her. She's very proud of her. Okay.
Yeah, and I pulled a card. I wish I would have told you more how much I loved you. So I know it feels like it was unexpected. So I just need you to know how much she loves you. Aww.
Yeah. And the card that I pulled, it's the card for rose quartz. And, that really is the type. Yeah, that's love.
It's love.
That's all it is. It's love.
So much love.
Absolutely.
So much love.
So, all right, we've got about 2 minutes left. Do we have time for one more reading?
One more reading, and then we'll wrap it up. Do you have anything on that end?
That's so much over here. Let's do Tammy.
Mahmood would love to connect with a loved one, please. Tammy Mahmood.
Yes. I can hear my pups in the back.
She has there's at least 3 males on the other side for her. Okay.
I have a male too.
Okay. One guy's bald, and I don't know if it's the bald guy that has the mustache, or there's another guy with him that has the mustache. So this is like a dad and a brother, or a dad and an uncle, or a grandfather and an uncle, or something like that, that are both looking after her. Okay. They're telling her to go out of her comfort zone. Okay. So try some new things. Go a little bit further than what you're going now. So whatever you're experiencing or whatever you're wanting to try, just go a little bit further. Okay. The goal line is just like a couple of yards further down. So I don't know why you're hesitant or whatever, but they have your back. And it's the men in your family that are on the other side that are watching over you. You got a kick-ass guardian angel anyway. Okay. But you've got them on the other side that are just going like tugging his cloak, going like, you see what's about to happen? You see what's about to happen? She's going a little fast, didn't she? And then the guardian angel has you lift up your foot on the gas. Okay, that's how it works. So just know you're being watched over, and a lot of protection for you. So go ahead and take the extra foot, or go the extra mile. Just go a little bit further, and I think you're going to find your dreams, or your accomplishments, what you're trying to accomplish.
Perfect. I'm sorry, I have a new understanding now. So I don't know if that's something that you need to hear from one of them, but they know better now. And so I'm going to leave that with you because we are running out of time. What do you have, Cassie?
I got the Kyanite card, and basically what it says is make time for yourself. Just self-care is really, really important.
Yeah.
Good.
So Steve, tell everybody how they can find you. How can they get a reading? What you got going on?
Just go on the internet, go on Facebook. I have two sites on Facebook. I'm on the internet at stevespur.com or cowboypsychic.com. and you go to my site. I'm only doing Skype, phone readings, Zoom readings right now because of the pandemic. And all you do is push on the phone reading, and you'll tell me what you want to do, Skype or Zoom or whatever, or a phone. And it'll give you my schedule and times and dates that I have open.
Perfect. And then anybody who wants to book with me?
Having me on.
You're welcome.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Anybody wants to book with me, it's under the Red Couch Medium, Facebook, TikTok, website, the Red Couch Medium. I have a development circle coming up, and Cassie's going to post the link to that on next Wednesday. So if anybody's interested in developing your own gifts and seeing if there's anything that you have, that there's a development circle going on every other Wednesday starting next week. That's all I've got going on. Cassie, you?
Hang on, let me drop that in the comments real quick. All right, we're good. So, all right, I'm Cassie Clayton, and you can always find me at StarGazers Unite. I've got a website, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, just StarGazers Unite, and also for any of the other episodes that we've had for Metaphysical Happy Hour, you can always go to metaphysicalhappyhour.com. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, all other podcast platforms. So definitely head over there. The show will be uploaded very shortly. And so, yeah.
Thank you, Steve, for coming on. We appreciate you. I love you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Until next time, everybody.
We'll have to do this live sometime.
Yes, in person. Once this pandemic's over.